I wish I knew that getting a skill was going to be a lifesaver. You want to do adulthood without Jesus Christ? Are you kidding me? Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, hi, welcome. My name is Gesa, and on this channel I make faith-based content, lifestyle vlog and beauty content. You get tutorials, DIYs and a lot of you. In today's video I'm going to be talking about 10 things I wish I knew before I went to the university, or 10 things I want you to know before going to the university. So if you're a jambite, you're a secondarian and you haven't gone to the university yet, you're thinking of doing that someday, this video is for you. Or if you're someone who maybe has finished secondary school for a while and you haven't still gotten admission and you're planning to go to school, I'd like you to stick till the end and watch this video. First and foremost is a no-brainer, but guys, before you go to school, make sure that the course you want to study is your idea. What I mean is, sit down to count the course, because 3 years, 4 years, 5 years is a long time studying something you have no interest in. There's like this pressure on children to study what their parents want. Maybe your mom wants you to be a doctor, your dad wants you to be a lawyer, and you want to dance. And you want to go to music school, but you know you come from the family where your parents will not really support you. You are not all fortunate to have parents that are supportive in terms of some career choices, yeah? But make sure that what you study is what you want. That's number one. Number two, have an identity. Have an identity. Because, guys, the university is an entirely different world on its own. So what I mean have an identity is know who you are, know your basis, know your principles, know what you stand for. Because if you do not know these things, you might end up going into the university and you get influenced. I've seen scenarios where people come into university, they're not even up to a year and they're already doing things they never used to do. They're already this entirely different people. There's a pressure in university. There's a lot of influence, and trust me, most of those influences are not positive influences. They are negative influences that are going to drag you away. So I would say have an identity. If you're already watching till this point, please, I'd like you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Guess what? Subscription is free. Click that subscribe button that you can see right now. Please tick it. It is free of charge. Don't worry, it's not like Instagram. I wouldn't know who subscribed. So please subscribe and join the family. If you haven't, well, if you have, I'd like you to like this video so that other people can see this video as well. For number three, have a personal relationship with God. You don't need me to say it loud. Have a personal relationship with God. I'd like you to know that you cannot know your identity if you don't know the source you're coming from. You see, university will test you basically. University will test your Christianity because now you're responsible for yourself. You're far away from home. There's nobody there. Basically, you can literally do whatever you want. Some of us grew up in households that were really strict. Not me in particularly. My parents were not strict, but I know some people watching this video, you grew up in the house where your parents are really strict. Some of you they don't even let you go out. They don't let you have friends. You can have friends over, but now you are in the university. It is an opportunity to party. The university is so wild. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just telling you from experience. Having a relationship with God sort of gives you self-control. It's good to allow into your space the kind of company you should keep. It gives you a direction, a focus in life basically. Christianity is actually personal. It doesn't matter whose house you grew up. Your father could be a bishop. Your mother could be a deaconess or whatever. If you don't have that personal relationship with God, then everything is going to be like eye service. You're just going to be serving a God you do not know. Want to do adulthood without Jesus Christ? Are you kidding me? I'm serious. If you're a Christian and you're watching this, be intentional about getting to know who God is. And for me, number four is, I wish I knew that I was going to be responsible for myself before I went into the university. I grew up in Kaduna State. If you watch my introduction video, I already said this before. The fifth born out of 8 children. I've never really traveled anywhere except for the village, and every time I traveled I was supervised. I was with maybe my siblings or my parents. Like, I had never really gone far away from home by myself until I got admission into the university to study a 5-year course. That was the first time I was leaving home my entire life. I've always been surrounded with my siblings, my parents, but this is the first time I'm in I don't say strange land because Kogi State is actually my state of origin, but I'm in a land where I don't have anybody. I'm responsible for myself. Unlike when I was home, there was always something, like if I needed to take a decision, I would always ask. There was someone to always bounce back on. But see, when you're in university, you're entirely responsible for yourself. Even if not financially, like you're not the one training yourself basically. If you're fortunate enough to not be the one training yourself, but you're solely responsible for yourself. Whatever choices you make, you're left with the consequences by yourself. While staying off campus, I got a little bit of insight of what living alone looks like. What I mean is that you would pay light bills, you would fetch water. If something was wrong with your house, you would fix it. Now, you are not under mommy and daddy's rule anymore. You're not in their house, you're not under their guidance basically. So you have to pick up the responsibility and wear the big boy pants. And guys, number 5 for me, this one I would advise anybody and everybody get a skill. I cannot overemphasize it. Get a skill. I'm serious. Get a skill, guys. Get a skill, get a skill, get a skill, get a skill. What would have happened if I did not have a skill? I mean, if you're privileged enough to have parents or guardians or family members who at a call they send you money and all, glory be to God for you, but still get a skill. When you're in school, you would need a lot of financial help basically. So getting a skill is another way to ease the burden from your parents. I, for example, before I started school, I learned how to make hair. And I can't even count the number of times that has saved me when I was in school. Something would just pop up that I needed money and I couldn't reach home. I couldn't call anybody. Somebody would just come and say they want to make their hair. I also had interest in makeup. While in school, I started learning, started watching YouTube videos. I started makeup 1,000 naira at the point I could do makeup. Before I graduated, before I finished 5 years, I did my first makeup class. Which by the grace of God sold out. All glory to God. If you're somebody who wants to be financially independent like I am, you would need to get a skill. Just get something doing that can bring you money. I've seen people in the university, particularly ladies in the university, that get talked down on because one boy is buying you shawarma 500 or is feeding you, buying you a plate of rice and is talking to you anyhow just because he's feeding you. If you have a skill to fall back on, you won't even depend on these guys. I've seen good Christian girls from good Christian homes that are dating Yahoo boys because they don't have a job. Learn something, learn baking, learn hair, learn makeup, learn barbing, whatever it is you can do that can literally bring you money. Number 6, I wish I was a lot more confident. What I mean is I have a very, very small stature. I'm petite by body size, and that in a way kind of makes me a little bit, I don't want to say timid. When I'm alone in a place where I don't know anybody, I can be very, very quiet. Doesn't mean I'm shy, but then when I'm with my circle, my friends, you might even think I'm the loudest. Am I? I literally cannot call people their direct names. I feel it's somewhat disrespectful. Up until recently, like, it's okay to call people by their name. Like, for example, if I see someone with a big body size, automatically in my head, I think it's a default. Automatically in my head, I'm thinking, oh, this person is older than me, so I should address a particular title to their name, maybe like auntie. And then I get close and I discover that we are maybe age mates, or I'm even older than you. But then I wouldn't want to, I would still feel a little bit disrespectful. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I wish I was more confident, because confidence can do so much for you. God did not give me the spirit of fear, but of boldness and of sound mind. And this takes me back to number 2, remembering your identity. When you do not have an identity, the world will give you one. Oh my God, I wish I knew that reading daily was going to help my CGPA. Guys, honestly, I wish I took reading more seriously. Like, I wish I knew that it would have helped me it would have helped me graduate with the first class. The number 8 thing, I wish I knew that The reason why you are in school, the number one reason why you are in school is to study, and to study that course for that particular amount of time, graduate with a good grade so you could get a job, or whatever reason why you're in school. But basically, don't get carried away. Be committed to your education. That is why you are in school. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and I love God. But I see people come to school, some people who have gone to school, and during class, you're nowhere to be found. We are always in fellowship. I'm sure God is looking at you like, what is wrong with you? The first reason why you're in school is actually to study. Guess what? If you get expelled from school today, that fellowship and that thing that takes your time away will still continue. Make your education a priority while you're in school. Make sure that you do the right thing at the right time. I hope I made myself clear. The last thing I wish I knew before going into the university is that I wish I knew a lot more about emotional intelligence, because your emotions will play a huge role in your relationship circle. So what happens in the university, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody, but I know by statistical facts that in the university, most people make destiny molding relationships. Like, most people meet people that they are going to be friends with for the rest of their lives, or people that you're going to go into the next phase of life with. People even meet their partners in the university. People meet their spouse. People meet their BFFs, business partners. You meet a lot of people that you're going to do life with in the very long run. So I wish I knew more about emotional maturity. I would have handled certain things differently. I wish I knew more about temperaments. I mean, I'm a believer in temperaments, but I also believe that I am not my temperament. I have a spirit-controlled temperament. But knowing people's temperaments will help me relate better with people. So for me in the university, I met amazing people that are going to be friends till I leave this world. We're going to be friends. That kind of relationship requires serious attention. So I wish I knew more about emotional maturity. You should learn more about emotional maturity. It will do you good to have your emotions in check, because in the university, as a girl, you're going to meet a lot of people that are going to come to want to play you. You're going to meet a lot of liars. You're going to meet a lot of people who would want to manipulate you, especially if you're a young person. I've seen people who come into the university at the age of 15. Those are my younger sister's age mates, and you see boys toying with them anyhow, because these boys know something that you don't. I know maturity is not by age, but you could add wisdom and knowledge. You could add understanding to yourself. So you will want to help yourself. Read books, please. Read books about emotional intelligence, about emotional maturity, about temperaments. I actually knew about temperaments long ago. I knew about emotional maturity long ago. So this video is basically for you. But most of the things I talked about here, I already had them. Like skill, I already had a skill before I went to the university. I already knew my identity. I already had a relationship with God. I already the only thing I wish I thought I knew was like reading my books anyways. So yeah, those are 10 things I would like you to know before going into the university. This is like the part 1 of this I wish I knew kind of video. I'm going to do a part 2. If you would like a part 2, please leave a comment in the comment section. And also, if you are a graduate in the house or someone who's already in school, you can please leave a comment about one thing you wish you knew before coming into the university, so that someone else can read it. And please like this message, share with your friends and family. And yeah, God will bless you guys. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you for always watching my videos. See you in my next video. Until then, God bless you. Have a lovely day.